What's up? You back rocking with your boy, the Expert Bowler here at Expert Bowler Gaming. And as you can see, I got a bunch of balls on the table. Now, sometimes when you know you're going out and you're going to bowl a tournament, you might know the pattern, you might not know the pattern. So these are just some of the bowling balls I have. And like you, right, I have more bowling balls than I'm going to take. So how do I choose what goes and what stays? First of all, you have to think about what is your benchmark ball. What is that ball that's always the first out of your bag that kind of works on anything and everything? It shouldn't be the strongest ball in your bag. It definitely shouldn't be the weakest ball in your bag. It should be something in the middle that's going to give you a good look at what the lanes are doing so you can decide very quickly in practice how you're going to play the lanes. So for me, I would say the first ball in my bag would be the benchmark ball, which would be either a Brunswick Knockout or a Brunswick Knockout Black and Blue. If I think I'm bowling on something where the volume is going to be a bit higher all day on every pattern, I'll take like the Black and Blue. If I think that the volume might be on the lower side, I'll probably take the original Blackout. So, or Knockout, I said Blackout, the original Black Knockout. So I think that for USBC Nationals, I'm going to take my Knockout, OG Knockout. All right, so that's ball number one. One ball down, 5 more to go. My second ball, I can't travel anywhere without, is my spare ball. So if you watch my last series that I did, right, about how to make the 10 pin, you know that we kind of looked at doing it a couple different ways, using our strike ball, using our spare ball, and using the urethane ball. Now, if I think I'm going to bowl on a pattern where they'll probably be really difficult, the spare ball is always in play, always. But there might be an argument for taking the urethane ball instead of the spare ball. I think if you're really, really comfortable throwing the urethane, throwing the spare ball, that's a decision you have to make. For me, I think I've had the spare ball longer. I've used it much, much more. I'm more comfortable with the spare ball, so the spare ball is going to go. If you can't spare, you got nothing. So we got to take the spare ball. I really was thinking about taking the urethane because it gives me 2 options. Something that I can throw at spares, as well as something that I can throw for strikes. But I think we'll keep it simple. We'll take spare ball. All right. So now, when we've got our benchmark ball, our knockout, our spare ball necessary, now we need something if there's a lot of oil on the lane. So we got something if it's like medium oil. Now we need something if it's heavy oil. So we got our traction ball, right? So we got a continuous ball, a straight ball, traction ball reaction. Brunswick Zenith. I don't use it often because usually it's not enough oil to use it, but when there is, that's what I use. Gotta have it. I like the way it rolls. Early, smooth, still makes a good move. I love it. So we got 3 balls. Knockout, spare ball, our traction ball, our Zenith. All right. So if they're a little bit tighter where the knockout's not really giving us what we need, maybe it's going a bit too long and it's not recovering enough, or it's recovering too late, we needed something a little bit stronger. Now for me, I like asymmetrical balls. I've got almost all the balls on the table are almost asymmetrical at this point. So I go with like my favorite ball. Vapor Zone Hybrid. Vapor Zone Hybrid has been one of my favorite balls since it came out. I've had like 3, maybe 4 of them. Vapor Zone Hybrid definitely goes. So for me, the times when the knockout's a little too weak, Vapor Zone Hybrid being asymmetrical, a bit stronger, is going to give me a little more shape in the mid lane, a little more down lane. I can add surface to it and make it, be much stronger. I could polish it a little bit by hand and make it be, much weaker. So Very versatile ball. It doesn't work all the time, but I feel like when it works, and I can adjust it to kind of make it work for me. Now, we need something that's going to be a little bit weaker than the knockout. So the knockout is going to be continuous. So we might need something that is a little more angular, going to give me a little bit more shape, but a little weaker. So here, we've got a few options, but I think I have to go with an old favorite. I've thrown this ball since it first came out for years and years and years. And this is my Tenacity Grit. This ball has more games on it probably than any ball I have in my bag. It works on everything. And when I say everything, this ball works on everything. I've bowled 300 on sports shots, on PBA patterns, on league shots, on whatever you could think of, like this ball works. So this ball, I never leave home without it. So Tenacity Grit goes. That'll be something, if they're hooking a little bit more, if I need, to play in, I can do it with that if they're hooking a little bit. If I need to square up a little bit and kind of play them straighter, but I need a ball that's going to finish good, I could throw that. I really love that ball. Never leave home without it. So we got 5 balls. So we need one more ball to round out our arsenal. So we've got a lot of really good choices here. We got our Medusa. This is the 800 special that we've been throwing that league, throwing crazy strikes, putting up crazy score. I really like it on a league pattern. I feel like it could be useful on a tournament pattern, but I feel like this ball would be really, really close to my Vapor Zone hybrid. I feel like it's a little more down lane. As it shines up, it's a little longer, and it could be a little more down lane at times. And I don't think that's what I need when I'm bowling on a harder pattern. So I don't think that the Medusa is going to make the cut. I could take the urethane ball, but I think that leaves too big of a gap in my arsenal. I can take this knockout black and blue, which would be a good complement to my OG knockout. So if the OG knockout was not strong enough, I needed something a little bit stronger, but still that symmetrical ball motion. In the continuous ball, I could take the black and blue, which is just a little bit stronger. But I feel like that's kind of too repetitive because I could just add surface to the OG knockout and still kind of get a similar, motion. I can make it work, right? So instead of taking 2 balls that could kind of be the same, I'll take this web mass bias, hammer web mass bias. So this ball is a ball that I usually keep shiny, and I use it for when the lanes are a bit drier. And I need my ball to corner down lane a little bit more. This is a really good ball. It's asymmetrical, doesn't really miss the spot for me since I like to throw it a bit harder than most people. And it usually has not let me down. It works on everything. So my 6th and final ball, hammer web mass bias. All right, so that'll be my tournament arsenal. So we got our spare ball, which is my CTD spare ball. We've got my hammer web mass bias. We've got our Brunswick knockout. We've got our Brunswick Zenith. And then we've got our Brunswick Vapor Zone hybrid, which is one of my favorite balls. And then we have our Brunswick Tenacity Grit, which is one of my favorite balls that I've had seemingly forever. So if you, like me, have a bunch of bowling balls and you've got to make choices and pick what you take, let me know what you take when you go to tournaments. Put it down in the comments below. If you don't know how many bowling balls you need or what bowling balls you need to have, check out the link in the description up here where you can see how many balls you really need. I am the Expert Bowler. This is Expert Bowler Gaming. And man, we out.